My very special guest, Lieutenant Colonel Terry Lakin, and his attorney, Paul Jensen. Joining me also is Dr. Jerome Corsi. And if you're just joining us, Colonel Lakin is the medical officer who has refused an order of his superiors based on his concern that the commander-in-chief, President Obama, is not constitutionally able to hold that office. All right. Now, Dr. Corsi,
yes, sir.
I think you had something that you wanted to say that was very germane here.
Well, I think just to get the listeners back up to speed, I think if we could have Colonel Lakin repeat just his motivations and the seriousness of the action, because Colonel Lakin, by questioning Barack Obama's eligibility to be president, has put his career on the line. So I'd ask that of Colonel Lakin to express once again his motivations for making this career decision.
Well, my motivation stems from my oath of office to uphold and defend the Constitution. It was just very, it's easy for me to divorce any kind of political or strategic or any other concerns that, people may think that I have other motives in this, but it's the Constitution that needs to be upheld. And I was just very concerned and shocked and in disbelief learning about this and the lack of evidence and the cases that have gone forward being shut down for no standing or no merit, or not looking at the cases for the merits. And I have tried to do this through the military channels, and the only means that I could research on my own over a year ago, and the responses I've gotten from military channels have been lacking, and they don't seem to be able to address the issue either.
Counsel Paul Jensen, was there not a case similar to this one in which rather than try the issue, they changed the orders of the individual involved?
Yes. However, that was a reservist, and I think that in this case that's not going to be the way it's played out. We've been, frankly, told explicitly that he's going to be charged, and as I say, just yesterday he was in writing notified that he's been flagged because the investigation is leading to charges.
Okay. Folks, I just want to mention that there is an important website if you want to support Colonel Lakin, and we hope you'll assist in doing that financially. Go to Safeguard Our Constitution. Run it all together as one word, safeguardourconstitution.com. All right. Let's go to the telephone calls at 1-800-GG-LIDDY. That's 1-800-445-4339. First up from Lynn, Massachusetts. David, you're on the air.
Yes, Mr. Liddy, I was kind of happy. I discovered your station on the internet, and I didn't realize that you were such a distinguished man of intelligence. But I'm glad I discovered it. To the Colonel, I'd just like to say I wish you all the success in the world in your ongoing challenge to this issue of presidential eligibility. I think you can recognize a counterfeit dollar when you see it, and I think you're not a man standing alone. I stand with you, and I'm sure that as this goes forward, you'll be surprised at the amount of people that will so-called come out of the closet on this issue. So I stand with you. Good luck, and God bless you.
Thank you, David. And let's now go to Heidi in Wisconsin.
Yes. First of all, my deepest gratitude to you, Colonel Lakin, for upholding your oath to defend our Constitution. My question may be best answered by Paul Jensen there. Obama admits his citizenship status at birth was governed by the British Nationality Act of 1948 on his Fight the Smears website. Since natural-born citizenship requires two citizen parents and no divided allegiances, how can someone who is a British citizen at birth be a natural-born citizen of the United States of America?
Well, it's quite evident that unless somebody is born as a natural-born citizen, you can't become a natural-born citizen later on. The issues will likely be litigated in our court-martial, and this is something we're looking forward to putting before the court.
Thank you, Heidi. We appreciate your listening and your calling. From Rhode Island, Nancy, you're on the air.
Thank you very much. Colonel Lakin, my concern is that the government is maybe going to try to get out of doing a court-martial, and does the fact that they have now assigned you as opposed to ordered you to Walter Reed, is that a way that they could potentially obviate the need to do a court-martial? And is there any way you could still force that issue?
Well, as the attorney, I'm going to answer that because Colonel Lakin is certainly standing up and inviting his own court-martial. That doesn't mean that he's looking forward to it and wants to poke the Army in the eye. So with that regard, Colonel Lakin is reporting for duty at Walter Reed, and there's not much more we can say about that.
Okay, well, thank you, ma'am. We appreciate that. Let's go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Dan.
Hello, Dan Howard here, former Oklahoma State Trooper, and I must say, first of all, I am so proud of you, Lieutenant Colonel, and I speak on behalf of many, many people out here in the heartland. I have one quick question and one suggestion. I believe that most of the time that the people pushing this issue with us have gone on TV and given interviews, they've missed one possible point to shut these journalists down that don't want to cover the facts. I think they need to go on there with a copy of a certification of live birth, and then go on there with a copy of a real certificate of live birth issued in the 60s and hold them up and let people see what the difference is. That's a suggestion. Also, I would like to ask you, what do you feel the next 90, 120 days will have in store for you, and anything we can do to help you, please expand on that.
Well, let me take that as well. The next the caller's suggestion is an outstanding one, and I've looked at these long-form birth certificates, and they look just like the ones that my kids have, and that you probably have, and nothing like what what the campaign submitted, the certificate of live birth, which is nothing more than an abstract, computer-generated abstract of data in their computer system. It says nothing about where that information came from, whether it came from a birth certificate signed by the doctor back in 1961, or it came from an application under the statute I just cited to you 5 years ago. We have no way of knowing. In terms of the next 60 to 90 days, we think that Colonel Lakin is going to be charged, and the Article 32 investigation will be begun and completed within that period of time. But that timetable is not in our hands. It's in the prosecution's hands. What people can do to support us and to support Colonel Lakin in his heroic and self-sacrificing endeavor is to make a donation which is tax-deductible. All donations to the American Patriot Foundation are tax-deductible under the law, and they can be made at www.safeguardourconstitution.com.